So today I want to talk about market manipulation. Now, I had a previous video where I was talking about crazy investor behavior. You can check out that video if you follow this link here. The reason I mention it is because one of the names I talk about in there is GameStop. Now, we've also talked about whether or not what happened with GameStop in those Reddit chat rooms constitutes market manipulation. Were those players involved in kind of artificially moving that price? So this whole market manipulation thing is just about a way of kind of destroying or artificially changing what the natural price discovery would be. So you think about it, it's just some way of interfering with kind of the natural supply and demand with some bogus information or whatever it might be in order to move prices one way or another. So some market manipulators might want the price to go way up and some might want it to go way down, but it's some way of distorting this supply and demand balance. Now, the SEC, wait a minute, I don't mean that SEC, I mean the Securities and Exchange Commission. They have a definition for what market manipulation is, and they say these are transactions which create an artificial price or maintain an artificial price for a tradable security. So keywords in there are artificial. So this supply and demand distortion is really an artificial mechanism. So some information or some behavior is in there to move prices away from kind of a fair market value. Now, this is unsurprisingly not legal in most countries. I won't read through it here, but the US has a law against it. The EU has laws against it. Australia has laws against it, Israel, etc. So this is pretty commonly not legal. For what it's worth, and for my fellow CFA charter holders, this is also something that is specifically forbidden in our ethics texts. Specifically, Standard 2B says that it requires that members uphold market integrity and don't engage in market manipulation. So this is something that we're not allowed to do as CFA charter holders, even in jurisdictions where it might be legal to do so. Remember, you follow the more stringent rule there. Now, I'm not talking about currency manipulation, which is something done by central banks. I will follow up with a video on currency manipulation because it's a little bit different, especially on that legality front. Now, next, what I'm going to do is have 3 videos. So one, of course, is going to be the currency manipulation video. We'll have a couple of videos on ways that players are manipulating the market, because there's quite a few different ways. I don't want these videos to get too long, so look for those subsequent 3 videos. Thanks so much for listening. I am Brian Kosliski.